Oh, family, it is up. Boy, it's up, boy. I was watching this interview earlier, right? But I ended up having to go to the gym, and I was like, I was gonna finish it when I got back. But boy, my dog just sent me the video of the meat and potatoes. Hey man, shout out Stan. Matter of fact, if you in Jacksonville and you looking for some pain, go ahead, holler at Stan the man. I'm gonna throw it up on the screen right here. But well, I ain't even gonna waste too much of y'all time, cause I just watched like the first 30 seconds and was like, oh yeah, I gotta pause this, bro. I gotta react to this. So without further ado, yeah!
Holla be thy name, holla be thy name, holla be thy name, holla be thy name, react and get game. Holla be thy name, holla be thy name, holla be thy name.
Honorable delegates, heads of state, leaders of nations, distinguished representatives of peoples great and small, I greet you not as a career diplomat, nor as a man bred for banquet halls and handshakes. I do not come to you speaking the rehearsed language of polished politics. I come to you as a soldier of my people, as a guardian of a wounded land, as a son of a continent that has carried the cross of the world, yet has never worn its crown. My name is Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of Burkina Faso, and today I speak not only for the 22 million souls in my nation, but for a continent whose stories have been twisted, whose pain has been ignored.
First and foremost, man, this is Captain Ibrahim, and I believe his last name is Traoré. I'm gonna butcher his last name. I ain't gonna even do that. But first and foremost, I want to say that this man speaks so eloquently. Like, he speaks better than a lot of people who were born and raised here in America. Like, that was the first thing that jumped out to me. But man, open your ears, pay attention to what this man say.
And whose dignity has been repeatedly auctioned off at the altar of foreign interests. Africa is not Tobago. Africa is not a battlefield. Africa is not your experiment, your puppet, your warehouse of raw materials. Africa is rising not to kneel, but to stand. And today I say before this great assembly of nations, Africa will not kneel. One on the false generosity of global politics. For decades you've sent us aid with one hand while extracting our lifeblood with the other. You build wells in our villages while your corporations drain our rivers. You donate vaccines yet patent the cures. You speak of climate action yet continue to fund the very forces that burn our forests and dry our lakes. What kind of generosity is this? The kind that feeds the mouth but silences the voice. The kind that keeps a man alive just enough to keep him dependent. We are not blind to this hypocrisy. Let me be clear, we are not ungrateful for sincere humanitarian assistance, but we reject a global order that disguises exploitation as partnership. We reject financial institutions.
You hear that? Man, he's calling out the BS, bro. Point blank forward, he said, hey, listen, check this out. Man, we are grateful for what you do for us if it's in sincerity. But bird feeding us, you know what I'm saying? You bird feeding us, and you making it seem like you really here to help, but you actually putting your foot on our neck. And they calling it out, bro. He ain't with it.
That lend with one hand and steal sovereignty with the other. Africa no longer wants charity. We want justice. We want control over our own destinies. Too on the chains of colonialism and its modern descendants. Our wounds did not begin with us. They were inherited legacies of an empire-building madness that saw us not as humans, but chiefs, as cargo laboratories. My ancestors were not consulted when maps were drawn with rulers and compasses in Berlin. The borders of Burkina Faso, like those of many African nations, were not carved by our ancestors, but by men who had never stepped foot on our soil, who knew nothing about languages, our tribes, or our spirits. Today, colonialism has a new face. It wears suits, it hosts forums, it signs contracts in Geneva and Paris and Washington. But it still takes without consent, it still dictates instead of dialogues, it still silences instead of listening. If you want to talk about peace, then let's begin by unlearning the arrogance that peace is something only you can teach us.
Well, it is up. It's up. Dog, it is up. Boy, it's up. But didn't Cat Williams say 2025, all lies will come out? Man, hey, it is up, bro. Man, Africa has finally, well, this country here from Africa has finally dropped their nuts and said, we ain't with it no more. Like, what? All right. Let's keep listening.
3. On resource exploitation and the myth of development. They call us developing as if the theft of centuries did not set us back, As if the gold from our lands, the diamonds from our rivers, the oil beneath our feet did not build the very skyscrapers in which this assembly sits. Let us speak plainly. Burkina Faso is rich, Africa is rich in minerals and culture and wisdom and youth. But you have taught us to measure richness in GDP and export value. You call it development when a foreign company owns 90% of a gold mine on our land. You call it progress when your security forces guard cobalt mines but not our children's schools. That is not progress, that is piracy with legal documents. From now on, we will define development on our own terms. Development that puts children in classrooms, not minerals on cargo ships. Development that respects the land, the people, and the soul of a nation. For on sovereignty and interference. Why is it that when an African nation makes independent choices, we are called unstable? Why is it that when we seek military cooperation outside the colonial sphere, we are labeled a threat? Burkina Faso has chosen to walk a path of sovereignty that is not a threat to peace. It is a declaration of adulthood. We are no longer under your guardianship. We are no longer your junior partners in diplomacy. We are a free people. If a nation chooses partners that respect it rather than exploit it, that is not rebellion. That is wisdom.
Ooh. Hey, boy, I love what I'm hearing, boy. I love what I'm hearing, dog. I love what I'm hearing, man. I'm mad I ain't got enough money to move my own family right now. God. They dropping their nuts. They calling it out, bro. Them boys is not with the BS no more. No. Boy, that boy speaking the truth. He letting it be known, and he's saying it very eloquently, if I might add. You know what I'm saying?
Let it be known, no foreign power will dictate the alliances of Burkina Faso. We will build relations based on mutual respect, not historical guilt or present-day intimidation. Fight on terrorism and manufacture wars. You ask why there is violence in the Sahel. You ask why our youth take up arms. But you do not ask who benefits when our mines are guarded by private mercenaries, while our villages are left vulnerable. You do not ask how weapons arrive in deserts that produce no steel. You do not ask why peacekeeping never seems to end the war. The truth is, many of the so-called solutions to African security problems are merely business models. Endless conflict has become a market, and African suffering has become a subscription-based service. Burkina Faso has decided to break that cycle. We will fight terror, but not with dependency. We will secure our nation not with foreign dictates, but with national dignity. 6 on migration and human dignity. We do not want our youth drowning in the Mediterranean. We do not want our brightest minds fleeing to countries that once called us savages. We do not want remittances. We want reasons for our people to stay. Why do our youth flee? Not because we lack beauty, but because we are made to lack opportunity. Not because we hate our land, but because our land is treated as someone else's property. Migration is not a crisis, it is a symptom of wars we did not start, of loans we did not need, of a world order that tells our youth their only value lies outside their own homes. The solution is not border fences. The solution is justice for 7 on Africa's place in the world. Africa is not a mistake to be fixed. Africa is not a failed continent. Africa is the womb of the world, the cradle of civilization, the keeper of tomorrow's hope. We have been made invisible in global decisions that affect us deeply. At the UN Security Council, Africa with 54 sovereign nations has no permanent seat. What justice is this? You call it balance? We call it betrayal of. You speak of democracy, yet uphold a global structure where the powerful few veto the dreams of the many. We will no longer whisper in rooms where we deserve to speak with full voice. Aid on faith and spiritual dignity. We are a spiritual people. Before your cathedrals, our ancestors sang to the sky. Before your missionaries, we knew the language of the rivers and the laws of the sacred forest. Christianity came, Islam came, and we received them not as slaves, but as seekers. But now we ask, will the church and the mosque stand with us, truly with us, when all people are displaced by greed, mosque as globalization? Will your pulpits echo our cries or only repeat the songs of the powerful? Faith, too, must be decolonized. It must walk with the poor, not the privileged. 9 on unity among African nations.
Boy, that was a powerful statement. That was a powerful statement, boy.
This is not a speech from one country. This is the stirring of a continent. You see Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso forming a new bond. You fear our unity. Why? Because it threatens the myth that Africa can only rise under your supervision. We are uniting not to wage war, but to wage dignity. to pool our courage, to share strength, to protect each other when the world turns its back. Pan-Africanism is not a dream. It is our lifeline, and we will build it stone by stone, heart by heart, with or without your approval. 10 to the youth of Africa, to the young boy selling oranges by the roadside, to the girl who walks 10 kilometers to attend school, to the child whose only toy is a stone but who dreams of stars. You are the reason we fight. Do not believe the lie that your continent is cursed. You are the blessing. Do not envy foreign passports. Be proud of your name, your land, your roots. The world may not applaud you now, but the future will speak your name in honor. 11 final words we will not kneel. I do not come to declare war, I come to declare will. So we will not kneel to fear. We will not kneel to foreign banks. We will not kneel to outdated empires masquerading as friends. Africa is not asking for a seat at your table. We are building our own a table where no child eats last, where no nation is silenced because it lacks nuclear arms, where justice is not filtered through the lens of race or history, but shared as breath is shared. This is our vision and this is our vow. Let the world hear it today and always. Africa will not kneel. Thank you.
Hey, as you can see, man, Africa is not with the BS no more. They not finna let y'all America keep, and whoever else with America, NATO, y'all not finna keep coming in there, setting up shop, stealing minerals, making business models out of ideas of making it seem like y'all trying to help them people when you're not. You're really just trying to get some money. You feel what I'm saying? Like, man, them boys is not with it. Boys ain't with it. And I feel them. About time they drop their nuts, bro. About time they drop their nuts, bro. That's crazy. All right, Captain Ibrahim, Captain Ibrahim, Burkina Faso. All right, we're gonna find out who this guy is for real. And I heard some things about him. Not nothing bad or nothing like that. But let's see here. Hey Maple, can you tell me who Captain Ibrahim is? He is the president of Burkina Faso in Africa.
Sure. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is a military officer who became the interim president of Burkina Faso in October 2022, following a coup. He's not officially recognized as a president in the traditional sense, but holds a significant leadership role in the country's current government.
I was told that he survived multiple assassination attempts. Is there any validity to that? And only use reliable sources.
It seems there have been reports about multiple assassination attempts against President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. According to reports, these attempts involved both internal and external actors, with some plots being uncovered and thwarted by authorities. If you want more details or have other questions, let me know.
Yes, I would like more details. I would like to know exactly how many attempts it has been and if they ever found out exactly who sent those attempts.
President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso has faced at least 19 assassination attempts. These plots have involved both internal and external actors. For instance, in September 2023, a coup attempt by high-ranking officers was thwarted. In January 2024, another plot aimed at assassinating him during the Africa Cup of Nations was intercepted. The specific identities of those behind these attempts haven't been fully disclosed, as investigations are ongoing.
Bro, 19 attempts? Bruh, I heard it was like 8 or 9. They done tried to kill this man 19 times. Oh, it's up. And my boy ain't scared. My boy speaking the facts, he telling what it is, and they've been trying to kill this man for the longest. Man, all right. Yeah, it's up. That's why they want to kill that man. Look how he talking though. He's calling out the nonsense, bro. He's being straightforward with it. Like, no, we're not taking it no more. And I love the fact that he's finally bringing Africa together. They finally getting together, protecting each other. This is big. This is huge. All right, man. How long has Captain Ibrahim and Putin been working together?
Captain Ibrahim Traoré and President Vladimir Putin of Russia have not been formally known to have an official working relationship. However, there have been reports about Burkina Faso seeking support from Russia in various forms, including military cooperation, in the context of regional security challenges. The specifics of any direct cooperation between them are not widely documented.
All right, man. Well, there you have it, bro. As you can see, man, it is up, bro. Captain Ibrahim is not messing off, and I'm gonna be diving in this more. I gotta see what's going on. But drop your comments down below. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know how y'all feel about this right here, man. I want to know. I gotta read these comments. We gotta get to talking in here and see what's going on. But until next time.
Holla be thy name, holla be thy name, holla be thy name, holla be thy name, react and get game. Holla be thy name, holla be thy name, holla be thy name.